Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar on the value of professional certifications, brought to you by the Minnesota chapter of ASQ. I'm John Mulcahy, your moderator. If you have not done so already, please take a moment to read the instructions we provided within the chat panel. As we get started with the webinar, notice you should have a control panel on the right corner of your screen. If you have any questions for our presenter, please enter them in the chat panel or the drop-down question tab, depending on what interface you have. Please enter them in this chat panel and start by typing the word question in all caps. Now, moving along to our session. ASQ offers over 17 professional certifications, ranging from inspector and technician to manager, master black belt. Thank you for joining me to learn how certification is an investment in an individual's career and in the future of their employer. We are delighted to provide you with this always timely topic and interesting speaker. Jim Spishiger has over 30 years experience in the quality profession as an executive manager, coach, engineer, and auditor. He has a degree in mechanical engineering from Villanova University, is a licensed professional quality engineer, and holds 7 ASQ certifications. He is an ASQ Fellow, a 2-time Malcolm Baldrige Examiner, and former member of both ASQ Board of Directors and the Executive Committee of Quality New Jersey. Currently, Jim is Chair-elect for the ASQ Inspection Division. He chairs the ASQ Crosby Medal Committee and is actively involved in his local ASQ section. He has presented at numerous meetings and conferences on a wide variety of quality-related topics. Please welcome Jim Spishiger, who will be speaking to us on the value of professional certifications. Take it away, Jim.
Thank you, John. So hopefully everyone can see this. Right now I have the Inspection Division logo up there. I've just gone to slide 2, the value of professional certifications, brought to you today by the ASQ Inspection Division. Again, as John said, my name is Jim Spishiger. I'm the chair-elect of the Inspection Division, and here's my contact information. At the end of this meeting, I'll be providing these slides to John so that they can post it on their website. I understand, John, that this meeting is being recorded for future playback. Well, most presentations end with a thank you, but I want to start with a thank you. I want to thank you for your valuable time today, for attending today's session. I also want to thank you for your membership with ASQ. I truly hope that the organization delivers as much value to you in your career as it's done for mine. So here's a quick agenda of what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give you a really brief overview of ASQ and the Inspection Division. And I'm going to talk about professional certifications. We'll go through a quick few definitions. Then I'll talk about the value and benefits of professional certifications and a little bit about recertification. And at the very end, I'll talk about ASQ certifications specifically. So hopefully we're all a member of ASQ, and we all know that ASQ is a global community of people who are really passionate about quality. ASQ has over 76,000 individual and organizational members that are creating advances that will help the world meet tomorrow's critical challenges. ASQ champions and advances quality methodologies, ideas, tools that make our businesses and organizations and community work better. ASQ offers a wide variety of resources, professional training, professional certifications to both individuals and to companies. Lastly, ASQ proctors vibrant local and global communities for quality professionals. So I just said ASQ is local, and you can see here, not many people know this, but ASQ has over 240 local sections. If you have a zip code or a postal code, you live within one of these ASQ sections. My career is a result of my local ASQ section, and I think the true strength of ASQ is its local presence. As I said, my section has helped me. It benefited me educationally, through networking, leadership development, practical hands-on business experience, and a lot more. And I will go in more detail as we go through our presentation about how ASQ has benefited me, both through certifications and professionally. ASQ is also a global organization. Recently, ASQ has opened up offices in Mexico, India, China, United Arab Emirates. They also have a partnership with Brazil, There's an organization called Quality that provides certification work down there. And they also have 21 world partners. So ASQ truly is a global organization. Besides being local and global, ASQ is topical. ASQ has 14 different divisions based on topics, plus 11 more divisions based on specific industries. So you see here in the top center is the inspection division, but we also have divisions focused on software, Six Sigma, aerospace, automotive, healthcare, telecommunications. On the bottom there's our newest one, mining. So the message here, ASQ is a global community, and the inspection division is just a subset of that. The purpose of the inspection division is to provide value-added services and information to professionals around the world by furthering the interest and objectives of global inspection technologies. You can see here, this is our purpose. We're the world's leading authority on inspection technologies, techniques, methods, principles, and applications, and we strive to be the source for inspection-related information. Joining SQ, you get a host of benefits, but by joining a division, you get added benefit. And for only $10, we provide you all the following, the list: newsletters, conferences, training courses, and workshops, leadership development. We have an award for an Inspector of the Year. We offer a $3,000 scholarship. There's networking session at the World Conference for Quality and Improvement. There's membership advancement to people who want to advance as fellow. There's both virtual and in-person networking opportunities. And lastly, we sponsor the CQI and the CQT exam. So I'll be talking a lot about professional certifications, and I'm going to keep deferring back to the quality inspector and quality technician as examples throughout this presentation. So thank you. That's my quick commercial. Now we'll get into the meat of the presentation. So John has read this. This is a pitch. This is what got us all here today about all the different professional certifications. ASQ now offers 19 professional certifications, and we'll quickly discuss that later at the end of this presentation. So you have to ask yourself, what is a certification? So a definition, as we see here, is defined by ASQ. Certification is a formal recognition that an individual has demonstrated a proficiency within a comprehensive body of knowledge at a specific point in time. And you say, why at a specific point in time? And that's because the body of knowledge, they evolve over years and years. The Certified Quality Technician exam I took in 1998 is not the same exam offered by ASQ now. The body of knowledge has just grown. Well, the body of knowledge is mostly the same, but there have been some enhancements and refinement to it. So this is something you have to be aware of. Body of knowledges that we look at are constantly evolving. So when I say body of knowledge, what does that actually mean? So I went to Wikipedia and pulled out a definition. As you can see here, it is a complete set of concepts, terms, and activities that make up a professional domain as defined by a relevant learned society or professional association. So there are numerous examples of learned societies and professional organizations. The best example would be Six Sigma Black Belts. Now, ASQ offers a Six Sigma Black Belt, but their body of knowledge can be somewhat different from other organizations that offers black belts. So the strength of ASQ certification is that it's internationally recognized. As I said, ASQ is a global organization. So the brand name of ASQ is dominant in the quality profession today. The body of knowledge is used to develop an exam that will assess a candidate's knowledge of the terms, concepts, and activities that make up the professional name. So this is what we're talking about, body of knowledge. It's just what we're being tested on, what the association deemed important to develop a certification around. So people ask, what's the difference between a certification, a certificate, and a degree? Well, you see the different definitions here. So a degree, an example would be a high school degree, a college degree, graduate, PhD. It's something earned. Once you earn it for a lifetime. A certificate, for example, would be attending a seminar or educational workshop where they give you a certificate of attendance or a certificate of completion. But lastly, a certification, it's an assessment. A certification assesses your understanding of key topics established by experts in a given field. And typically, certifications expire because again, the body of knowledge is the dynamic, moving thing. So it's something we have to continually refine and work on, keep our skills. So, when I got my college degree, that meant Yahoo, I'm going to go out and party. But when I got my certificate, I said, oh man, now I got to go back and start working on this because it's something I need to maintain. ASQ certifications expire in 3 years. So I went to Wikipedia and I got a list. What are some common professional certifications? And they had a very long list that you can copy and paste, and that's what I did here. I'm not going to go through these, but I just want to show you that all these certifications have their own unique body of knowledge, made up from concepts, terms, and activities that are defined by their relevant society or professional association. As I said before, on the bottom, it lists 19 ASQ certifications, which we'll look at shortly. So what's the value of certification? So there's many different bullet points on this. The first one says recognize expertise. A professional certification shows that you are an expert to some defined specific body of knowledge. External validation. Some learned society or professional association has certified you. This carries more weight since it comes from an independent third party. If your company validated you and certified you, that's one thing. But when you can prove that your certification comes from an independent third party, it validates you and it just gives you more credibility. If you're certified to a known society or professional organization, then that certification is an internationally recognized credential. For example, if you were certified by Franklin University here in Columbus, Ohio, it would lack the impact that ASQ certifications have because ASQ, again, is a global entity that has international presence. It's a leading source of quality information. So if you're a certified black belt from ASQ, it definitely would carry more weight than a certified black belt from Joe's Garage or some local entity. The fourth bullet point says it's transferable across industries. Now, many certifications are independent of an industry. For an example, a certified accountant can work in almost any industry, be it healthcare, pharmaceuticals, telecommunications, nonprofit, etc. Accounting is accounting, and there are some slight nuances, but generally, accounting goes across different industries. The same can be said for many of the ASQ certifications. A certified quality technician's credentials carry across many different industries, so there's nothing specific to a specific industry such as automotive. You can go from automotive to telecommunications to aviation. It's the same body of knowledge for that same professional certification. Moving on, it's a commitment to your profession. Getting certified demonstrates a commitment to your profession. It shows that you want to be an expert. It also shows that you're a master of your craft. ASQ certification or professional certification shows initiative. Most people who obtain professional certification do so on their own volition. They may have been nudged a little bit, but they still took the initiative to go the extra step. A little later, I'll share with you my story. And lastly, a professional certification can only help. It's a benefit. It's not a detractor. It's a good thing. And why do you ask? Because of the 6 reasons I just listed above. So where's the value in certification? Why do professionals get certified? Well, because their certifications, I said, are dynamic. They have value when certification boards meet periodically and they review and update their bodies of knowledge, their exam specs, and exam questions. Value is obtained when the body of knowledge is typically tightly controlled and regularly updated. As I previously mentioned, bodies of knowledge are evolving, so consequently, so are professional certifications. This results in keeping professionals updated to the latest information, knowledge, and trends. College degrees, as I said, are good, but let's face it, they're static. Some of the things that are being taught today in college were not taught in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, yet you still have your college degree. Conversely, if you're a certified engineer and you stop maintaining your certification, you would lose that because you have not kept up with your education, training, and skill set. So why get certified? Well, number one reason is it adds to the bottom line. That's the bottom line to your pocket, and that's the bottom line of your organization. certifications, they elevate the company image. Which is better, Joe the inspector or Joe the certified inspector? A staff with professional certifications will be viewed in a more positive light. In certain instances, contract requirements may be fulfilled. Customers may specify that they want work performed or verified by certified professionals. Now, why would they pay this extra amount of money to have the service done? Because they know the reliability and the work performed by professional with certifications demonstrate a recognized expertise, and they're willing to pay the extra. Professional certifications document worker competency. There's literally a certificate on the wall. Seeing a certificate for Mary, the certified technician, validates her knowledge and skill set. For example, have you ever been to a doctor's office and noticed the impressive credentials hanging on their wall? Seeing this validates your skills and helps provide you a measure of comfort and assurance that that doctor is trained and certified in his area of expertise. The fifth bullet says an entry requirement for employment. Some organizations require it. I've seen many job descriptions where it says a CQM is preferred, certified quality manager is preferred. It could be technician or any other certifications, but it may be just an entry point for you or a differentiator between you and a alternative candidate applying for the job. That brings me to competitive edge. Hiring managers are more likely to, or more positively inclined to hire certified individuals due to their understanding of what it takes to become certified. Finally, professional certifications help organizations achieve business objectives and continuous improvement objectives. Why? Well, because professional certifications have a knowledgeable and highly qualified staff that can provide that little bit of extra. Let's talk a little bit about the benefits of certification. Right? So first off is the mark of technical excellence. People with certified, or people who are certified professionals, provide document proof of a knowledge of a specific body of knowledge. They also achieve peer recognition, and this is obtained through a deep understanding of that body of knowledge. And by peers, I'm not necessarily talking about coworkers, but rather professional peers. If you've ever been to the World Conference of Quality Improvement from ASQ, you'll probably see many ribbons attached to people's name badges that say certified. This automatically provides recognition amongst your peers at that conference. It's a documented fact, and I'll show you in a few minutes, that certified professionals earn more on average than non-certified peers. Later, we'll talk about this in specifics. And also, you'll see that certifications are a smart investment in your career. They make you more marketable and competitive in the workplace. Doors will open quicker, and certified professionals possess that independent third-party validation to a defined body of knowledge. Certified employees also ensure product and service quality. Now, while non-certified people can also do this, a CQI or a CQT provides a layer of confidence. It also naturally provides a higher level of trust. The bottom line, certified professionals provide you with a head start. So as we said, we're talking about the benefits to both the employee and to the employer. So first, look at the employee. Being certified means you know how to apply appropriate quality tools per that certified exam's body of knowledge. It validates your skill. It's a third-party confirmation. It demonstrates expertise to a defined body of knowledge. It's an attained self-confidence. A professional certification provides you a boost in your confidence because you know what you know. This knowledge has been validated by that third party. Personal and professional pride. Upon passing a certification, you can't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. Many people, myself included, spend a lot of hours prepping and preparing for an exam, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. But man, when you finish that, you are higher than a kite because all that work and effort has paid off. There's a differentiation amongst peers who are certified and those who are not. Let's then 40% of the ASQ members have a professional certification. Those that are certified have a leg up on their peers, even though those people may have the same education, experience, and skill set. Professional certifications make you more marketable. There's no doubt that people with professional certifications are more marketable than those who are not. They open career paths. Along with being marketable, professional certifications provide greater opportunities with regard to career paths. Simply put, certified professionals have more options. Reward, either immediate or deferred. Now, sometimes either immediately after passing a certification exam, you can be compensated or rewarded. This could be deferred, something a little bit further down the road that you'll see that, it led to opening up career paths that led to greater reward for you professionally. But the reward will be there either now or in the future. Right. Sometimes ASQ certifications are a lifetime accomplishment. For example, the Certified Quality Inspector, Certified Quality Technicians, they're one and done. They're lifetime certifications. And lastly, you're part of a club. Your networking opportunities greatly expand. Professional certifications place you in a company with other people with the same skill set and experience. They provide employees the chance to share experiences and build their professional network. All right. So how do certifications benefit employers? When you hire someone who's certified, you know that person has a skill set that person has about a certain specific body of knowledge. So certifications validate their skills. You have a third-party confirmation. Now you can prove to your customers that your employees have a certain level of experience, a certain skill set through those professional certifications. It's not you doing it, it's somebody else, which gives you independent third-party confirmation. Professional certifications validate a knowledgeable workforce. They'll yield to higher performing employees. They'll advance skills and knowledge that will yield that higher performance. Morale and motivation improves with certifications. Professional certifications lead to employee development. Many certifications require recertification, so therefore you're constantly honing your skill set, getting further education, building on your knowledge base, which that leads to greater development and productivity. It increases employee competency, increases employee loyalty. Organizations have professional certifications have greater employee loyalty because they value that. And when they value professional certification, the people who work for them understand that value and they remain loyal to those employers. Professional certifications produce higher productivity. You get more bang for your buck. And lastly, they provide a competitive edge. Having a staff or certified professional give you a leg up on your competition. So the bottom line is that professional certifications add to an organization's bottom line. Right? Some professional certifications require prerequisites. These prerequisites add further value because not just anyone can come off the street and take a certification exam. There may be some educational requirements. There could be some experience requirements. You must have some OJT behind you before you can sit for the exam. For example, you may need projects. Six Sigma certifications require you to have a certain number of projects under your belt. You also may have to have references, have a boss or coworker sign off on your skills and experience. And there could always be other prerequisites depending on that professional certification. Lastly, I want to talk about recertification. Recertification verifies that you have maintained that same knowledge level you've demonstrated when you originally passed the exam. As I mentioned before, some certifications require this, and this is a good thing. So at first you might think, oh man, I got certified, now I have to spend all my time getting recertified. Well, this should not be viewed as a chore, but it should be something that actually benefits you. So here I'm talking about turning a con into a pro. Professional development, ugh, you'll think about it. And so how does that benefit me? Well, because you have to have a certain amount of professional development behind you, it'll lead to you going to courses and conferences. You'll have continuing learning. Soon you'll be taking classes that will enhance your skill set. Sharing knowledge. As you learn more from these classes and conferences, you may soon find yourself writing articles, speaking at other conferences, teaching courses, right? Further developing your skill set. It leads to networking. One of the things you do to recertify is get involved with committees. So first, you're merely going to dinner meetings to earn some RUs, and then someday you're sitting there with friends at a monthly event. And lastly, there's leadership development. Now, it's tough to find a safe environment where you can develop your skill set for leadership, but service on committees provide you that. It's a way for you to work in a safe environment, develop skill set where you can then take back to your workplace. So here's my message. Professional certifications are a journey. As I said before, they're not static, they're very dynamic. Certifications will take you someplace. Certification leads to learning. Just like when you travel, you go to new places, see new things, eat new foods, all of which becomes a learning experience. Certifications lead to meeting people. Through networking and advanced opportunities, certifications will get you noticed. There's an all factor involved. Just like when you're on a trip, you see some amazing things, you become awed. When you have a certification, people view you in awe. Certifications lead to money. Unlike of a trip, certifications put money into your pocket versus taking money out of your pocket. And lastly, certification are a true enjoyment, just like a vacation. Certifications allow you to enjoy your accomplishment, to reap the benefits of it after its long-term effects. What I want to do now is go into ASQ-specific certifications. So here, you see here we have 19 ASQ certifications. The ones in red, the quality inspector, improvement associate, technician, analyst, all the ones in reds, these are lifetime certificates. Once you take them, you pass them for life. You can see how certifications build on one another. And you can start here on the left and see quality improvement associate, which I call quality 101. You can build to a technician, go to a engineer, move way up to manager, master Six Sigma black belt. So the body of knowledges are very small and defined, but they get larger and more broad as you go on. Now, quality is no longer just a competitive edge, it's an actual business critical differentiator that customers seek. And ASQ credentials let you stand out. And they show that you're on top of regulations, industry standards, information. People with ASQ credentials don't just improve their company's bottom line, they build their careers. ASQ has over 90 testing locations worldwide with more than 180,000 certifications issued so far. As you can see here in the bottom right, they offer exams in 5 different languages besides English. Let me take a little time out here and tell you a little story. When I was first asked to prepare this presentation for ASQ, they told me, make it personal. Tell them why your certifications have benefited you through your career. So, I went to college, went out and got my first job. And then I came to a crossroads in my life. I got some SPC training, and I took that SPC training and I got a second job. And I really owe a lot of my career to a woman named Kathy. Kathy was a coworker of mine, and when I started working with her, she did not like me. Just flat out, there was something not cohesive between the two of us. What I found out later on, she was a senior technician, I was the engineer. She had actually interviewed for the job, and the boss wouldn't promote her, and he brought me in instead. So there was a little professional jealousy there, perfectly understandable. So the boss said to Kathy, said, look, I'll promote you to an engineer, but you have to become a certified quality engineer through ASQ. So he said, I will send you on my dime They go to a certification training class, but these were held on Saturdays. So she had to take her time and go to this class and learn. So his dime, her time. So Kathy went to the class, took the exam, and she failed it. And so she went around the second time. The division, or excuse me, my ASQ section had a policy: if you fail an exam, you can come back, take the class free of charge. So she took the exam a second time, and she failed it. And this is where the crossroad of my life came in. So this is where I got intrigued. I said, what is it about this exam that's so tough and so difficult that she's struggling with? So I approached my boss, asked him to give me the same deal, his dime, my time. So I took the class, my CQE, went out, and then I passed the CQE exam, and immediately led to promotion. Well, it didn't take much to figure out, hey, get a CQE, or you become a senior engineer. Well, actually, Kathy got promoted too, even though she never passed it. She moved her way up. That was her story. But I went out and got my second certification. I was motivated at this point and self-motivated to get a certified quality auditor. And that led to my third job, where I became a manager. This company had a need for a auditor with skill sets, and the differentiator, the one thing that got me that job, was my CQA. All right, so you can see here how one certification led to a promotion, second certification led to a job, to a management position. So as I told you, there was a need for obtaining recertification units, and this led to me volunteering. Right? And this volunteering led to my network. So here's my story. So we're going to simplify this a little bit. I had job one. Job two, I got through a special skill set of knowing SPC. Job three, I become a manager through a certified quality auditor. Right? I didn't tell you I got job one because I knew Don. Don was actually the father of my girlfriend at the time. He said, hey, my company's hiring. Why don't you come in and we'll give it a shot? And that didn't get me the job, but he opened that door for me. So then I met Mulraj. So I was working my third job, and one day I got laid off. And I went to an ASQ meeting 2 weeks later. I'm sitting at the table telling them I'm out of a job. I'm looking for something. And a gentleman across me, his name was Mulraj. I did not know him. Said, oh, we're looking for a quality control manager. That opened the door for me. Just randomly, luckily, sitting at the same table with a gentleman in ASQ. But my certifications got me that job, and led to a fourth job. And then I continued to volunteer for ASQ, and I met a gentleman named Ed, and Ed said, hey, I know an opportunity for you. And that led to my job number 5. And when I walked in for the interview, I met a woman named Robin, and she was the hiring manager. And I recognized Robin because she was the wife of Al. Al and I worked together at job number 1. The world was getting much smaller. So I was working at job number 5, and they shut down my facility. But fortunately, I met Dominic. Dominic was a quality manager for a sister plant of ours in Columbus. And because I met him there at the conference, I took care of him, showed him the hospitality suite for the inspection division. We had a few drinks. When my plant got shut down, Dominic offered me a job in Ohio, saving my career. So again, just building that network. While working there, I met Hank, and Hank said, hey, there's an opportunity. So I moved over to job number 7, and it goes on. Sandy is my section chair, and I met her through my volunteer work, and that led to job number 8. But why did I get the job? Well, it comes back to Six Sigma. So the point of all this is I had a skill set that led to a job, which led to a certification, which led to a massive network, but all came back down to, again, having that certification, that Six Sigma certification built on my network, which led me through my job career and where I am today. I can't thank ASQ enough because of all of it. It all fell into pieces, or fell into place, excuse me. So that's my story. So we'll talk about ASQ certifications real quick. They're a mark of career excellence that affirms your commitment to quality, demonstrate your expertise and knowledge of the state of practice. Right. ASQ offered their first certification in 1968. It was a certified quality engineer. It is their first certification and still today the most popular certification. ASQ is the only organization that administers certifications directly related to quality. There's, as I said earlier, there's 190,000 individuals that have become certified, and almost 35% of the members are certified. And lastly, ASQ is a globally recognized certification endorsed by 125 different international organizations. So we talked a little bit about the advantages and benefits of certification. And you can see here, this is from the December 2015 Quality Progress article. They have an annual quality survey, and one of the things they measure is advantages of certification. So you can go back and reference that. This is particular charts on page 21. You can see here on the top line, it says calibration technicians on average make $51,500 a year. Those with a certified quality technician from ASQ earn $56,900. That is a 10% difference in salary just based on that certification. It's an extra $5,300 in your pocket. Now, next line, we'll show you managers. Manager with certification versus without. Managers with make 13%, almost 14% more, which is like $12,500 more annually because of the certification. Again, engineers, we can see a 17% difference, a $13,500 difference. Auditors, a certified auditor will make almost 12% more than a non-certified auditor. Green belts are the biggest differential. A green belt with a certification will make $16,400 more, which is 25% increase over those without a certification. So here's direct proof how ASQ certifications benefit you personally by putting money in your pocket. So what are some of the things ASQ does? Well, they provide certification, training, and exam preparation. You can go local ASQ sections and ASQ divisions will offer this. You can get remote training, you can get web-based training, you can get self-paced learning, you can get face-to-face training. And you also can find training resources at local community colleges and various trainers and consultants. Right? This training will benefit you, help you prepare for that exam. It's just meant to refresh your knowledge and skill set that you already have. But it's something you can take with you and easily transition into the exam. ASQ provides a comprehensive certification tool preparation. They have instructor-led training, like I said, web-based training. They have many certification handbooks. They provide you sample tests and plenty of other published materials. A wide variety of tools available to help you pass your certification. Right. These tools are written to the specific body of knowledge by subject matter experts. So you're going to get top-notch quality on the information they provide you. So let's go take a look at the ASQ website. So where do I get information on certification? Well, you can see here right in ASQ's main web page, it says certification. So with one click, it'll take you to this, right? The value of ASQ certifications. And here, it'll tell you a lot of different information on different types, schedules, on fees, right? A second click will get you right to a specific type of certification. So 2 clicks, right there, you're right, getting information on a certified quality technician, right? We click that spot, and here it is, all the details you need to know about certified quality technician. And you can see here, boom, how to prepare for exam. So within 3 clicks, it'll get you to this page here, which gives you everything you need to do to prepare for an exam. Trainings, books, even here an interactive exam, so you can practice. So I want to do a quick little quiz here. You click on that certified quality technician exam. I'll give you, here's four different questions. The first one says, one advantage of 100% inspection over sampling. That is 100%. A, provides more information about quality levels. B, gives 0 defects to the customer. C, reduces personal bias of the inspector. And D, requires less machine operator training. the answer here is A. One advantage of 100% inspection, it does provide you more information about the quality levels. Right? It doesn't guarantee zero defects. It doesn't eliminate bias, and it doesn't reduce retraining. But this 50-question exam is available to you as a practice to help you prepare. Right? Along with that, ASQ will provide you the answers. They'll tell you exactly why the answer is correct. They'll tell you the rationale behind it, and they'll even reference the exact source where this question came from. So here's a real good benefit of this presentation, and I'll tell you a secret. All ASQ certification exam questions are extracted from published material. No questions whatsoever are made up in somebody's head. So even though stuff is published somewhere, no book will have all the answers to all the exam questions. You even be lucky to find one that has 50% of them. But the answers are out there in published material. And a couple slides ago, I showed you that long list of published publications. ASQ provides this list of reference material, and most of these exam questions are extracted from these sources. So if you want to prepare, I suggest you get a few of these books, learn from them, study them. They're an invaluable resource. My last point here, ASQ recertification requirements. If you're a certified ASQ professional that requires recertification, you need to have 18 RUs or recertification units you have to earn in over 3 years. Right? You can earn them through these various things here. Through employment. Employment will give you more than half the credits you need. Professional development, that's training courses, conferences. If you write or publish or present, you get recertification units. Education, if you go back to college for training or at grad school, those educational credits will carry over for RUs. If you become an instructor and go and teach classes, you'll get credits. A very popular one is ASQ meetings. Most sections host monthly dinner meetings. You will earn credit for going to these monthly meetings. You earn recertification credits for service by doing committee work or by proctoring. And lastly, you can earn recertification units through obtaining additional certifications, either within ASQ or without. So my last slide here, I talked about this before, being a master of your craft. Right? I want to challenge you to become a master of your craft. The best way to do this, the easiest way to do this, is becoming a professional, certified professional. With that, John, I'm going to turn it back over to you. I want to thank you for everyone's time and attention. It's now about 12:45, and it gives us 15 minutes for questions and answers. John?
Thank you, Jim. I really appreciate that. What a great presentation. So that, as Jim indicated, this is a good time for any questions that anyone might have posed throughout the session or has now. One question that came to my mind, Jim, was based on your experience, and I love that slide that showed your transition throughout your career and how the value of the different certifications came into play and the relationships and the networks. But when you think about certifications today, I'm wondering what you believe are those that are in highest demand today, and what ones do you think are going to be on the rise in the coming years, and maybe why you think that way. If you have any thoughts on that, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, great question, John. Thank you. That really depends on where you are in your career and where you live. I'm involved in inspection division with certified quality technician inspector exams. Domestically in the U.S., those are not high demand, but ASQ, their learning offering staff has approached us and asked us to work with them on developing these exams because internationally, globally, they're getting a high number of requests for materials and courses on these type of certifications. So, answer your questions, high demand for inspectors and technicians in third world countries. Now here in the U.S., the big one, of course, is Six Sigma. That is continuing to grow. That certification has developed. Initially, ASQ put out a black belt exam back in the early 2000s. They've increased that to include a green belt, a master black belt, and the newest exam from ASQ is the yellow belt. So there's now 4 levels of black belts that are building. They just because of supply and demand. ASQ, most members are not the lower tier people, but they're more the engineers and managers. So engineering and quality management are very popular. But to answer your question, the biggest one is certified quality auditor. It's a very simple exam in terms that the body of knowledge is very deep, but not very wide. So it's you're taking 150 questions about auditing. Now the level of knowledge is much more concentrated than when you take the engineering and the technician exam, which also have auditing components to it. But the CQA right now is the #1 exam. The quality audit division is one of the larger, is actually the second largest division because of that. And that's where it's going. And that's where I see there seems to be a very high rate of churn within auditing. People come into auditing and they move on to other type of roles. Is that okay? Did I just answer your question, John?
Yep, Jim, you did. I really appreciate that. CQA. Is there any other questions that people have or thoughts that we want to ask of Jim while we have his attention here? I'm looking at some of the questions that are being posed or in the chat box. See if anything pops up.
What is the average preparation time for ASQ certification exams? That will depend on your baseline, where you are as a professional. When I studied for the CQE, I put in 40 hours of classroom time, and I put in probably another 80 hours of personal study time. And I was new. I was young. I was still in my 20s, so I took a lot of extra effort. When I studied for that exam, auditing was a subset of certified quality engineer. So the next 6 months afterwards, I took the certified quality auditor. You're taking 120 hours down to 20 hours of preparation. I had to know that body of knowledge for the one exam to take to another. So I went from an extremely tough exam to what I thought was a very simple exam because I was already prepared for that. Of all the exams I've taken, I took the quality manager exam. Had a lot of practical experience. I really didn't study. I went into that exam saying, I'm going to go take it and see where I score, and see what areas are my weakest in, and I'll go back and take the exam a second time. I didn't have to. I passed the exam based on my knowledge and the skill set at that point. So it went from 120 hours to 0 hours prep time. And again, it all depends on where you're starting from. I took my Six Sigma Black Belt exam. All my effort was focused on advanced statistics. Most of the other portions of the body knowledge didn't require much effort for me because that was just a working skill set I had. Advanced statistics did not, so I had to put significant effort into that portion of the body knowledge. Probably about 20 hours worth of prep time. So answer the question, it varies on where you're starting from, anywhere from 0 hours to possibly 120 or more hours. How difficult was the black belt certification? To me, that was the most challenging, other than the engineering one, because engineering I took when I was very young, but the black belt was more because of the advanced statistics involved. It just, yeah, I don't use those tools very much, and you're talking about many quality tools that are just high level and difficult to master. But you don't need to know that much. You just know how to use the tool and when to use it for the exam. So on a scale from 1 to 10, Six Sigma would be on the higher end because of the advanced knowledge you need. And you also need a project. You have to have that completed and some work experience before you can take that exam. So scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to go 8 or 9. Difficult exam. Nina, I'm ready for the next question.
Here's a question for.
Okay, if I'm not an engineer, do you recommend me taking a CQE? Not knowing where you're starting from, I personally recommend building your way up. I have a coworker I'm working with. I told him, maybe you want to start with the yellow belt or then the green belt before you're taking your black belt. The same for you. If you're not an engineer, I recommend starting with the inspector, and then technician, and auditor. All three of these exams, their body of knowledge is a subset of the certified quality auditor, or excuse me, certified quality engineer. So yes, I do recommend taking it, but build your way up. Get some experience under your belt. One of the good things about ASQ exams, if you don't pass it, they'll come back to you and give you specific direct feedback on what area of the body knowledge you scored lowest in. So if you're strong in auditing, but you're weak in design of experiments, their feedback will show you that. And then that tells you where to beef it up and how to improve yourself. So to answer your question, yes, take the CQE, but work your way up to it.
Jim, there was a question regarding if you have multiple certifications, are you required to sustain 18 RUs for each certification, or will those be able to be applicable across all certifications?
Another great question. You have 3 years to earn recertification units, and those recertification units carry across all ASQ exams. So what you can do is you can synchronize your certification. So if you get an engineer 1 year, and then the next year you become an auditor, and the third year you become a manager, well, to recertify as an engineer, you need 18. To recertify as an auditor, since it's only been a 2-year term, they're only going to require you to take 12 RUs. And recertify as a manager, since it's only been 1 year, you only need 1/3 or 6 RUs. So if you get to 18 for the manager, you're automatically getting your CQA and manager, excuse me, if you recertify as an engineer, you automatically get your auditor and manager recertification. You now pay a little bit extra fee, but all 3 of your certifications are synchronized, and you're all working under 18. They make it very simple for you.
And Jim, one other question I see posed is, what material would you recommend studying to prepare to take the LSS Black Belt exam?
Give me a second here. I'll go to my slide. So looking at this slide, if you want to become a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt, ASQ will have a page on their website that is identical to this. How to prepare for exam, you click on their I'm going to go to previous slide. You will click on preparation for exam. That'll take you to a slide very similar to this. That'll say training available and books. Right. This is where you want to develop your resources and where you want to go for training, because ASQ training is taught by subject matter experts, people who have been involved in the exams, not directly, because there's a certain time period that you can't get involved. But if once you help prepare an exam, you wait a couple of years, you then become a trainer for that. And the books and reference materials are the resources they use to extract their examination questions from. So go to the Six Sigma Black Belt page, look at the books and references that they list, and utilize those resources to prepare. I believe that answers the question. What material would you recommend? Yes. So go to the ASQ website, look at these materials, and that's what I would use to prepare for your black belt. There's a lot of other ones out there. I always recommend the very first one. All ASQ exams will have something like this, which says the Certified Quality Technician Handbook, or Certified Quality Auditor Handbook, Certified Quality Inspector Handbook. These are great places to start. They build, they work. These books follow the body of knowledge per ASQ exams step by step. So they keep things compartmentalized for you, and are an easy source to work from. That answers that question, John. Is there anything else?
I have a question here. It says, how best do you think one should acquire RU units for recertification, especially those that are knowledge-based? So how best do you think one should acquire the units for recertification?
I will go back to the slide here. So when I was young, I was challenged with this. I joined ASQ, and no one had warned me that once you get certification, you have to get recertified. So the two easiest way, in my opinion, other than work, because work will count as 10.8 recertification units. So you get that almost automatically as long as you stay employed. The easiest way of going about doing it is meetings. ASQ offers monthly meetings, dinner meetings, where you go, you sit through an hour presentation such as this, and you earn 0.3 RUs. So if you go to half of them over your 3-year recertification, you'll earn probably up to 6 credits by just attending meetings. The second easiest way, in my opinion, is service. You can volunteer your time and serve on a committee for your local section or an ASQ division, and put a little work in, but you get significant recertification units by doing that. And the third thing, go to a class or go to a conference. I enjoy conferences very much. I seem to learn a lot. I meet a lot of people. You absorb a lot, especially when you're early in your career. When I first went to World Conference back in 1994, I was just a big sponge, and I was soaking it up. And later on, I started presenting because I made that transition from learner to instructor. So those are the 4 ways I would recommend: appointment, meetings, service, and conferences and training class.
Okay. Are there any other questions that we want Jim's attention for? Otherwise, we'll start to wrap things up. I'm not seeing anything come through. So, Jim, thank you very much for addressing this informative and interesting topic. As a reminder, this webinar will be made available within 24 hours. On behalf of the Minnesota chapter of ASQ, we would like to thank you all for your responses and for attending this webinar today. Goodbye.
Thank you, John.